Good afternoon, Americans. This is your favorite alien here on the afternoon of Saturday, March 9th, 2024. This is a follow up on a commentary I did last year on Richard Stockton from New Jersey. I got a response back from, he called himself his grandson, great grandson. I think he missed a great or two in there. He didn't leave his name, but to him I say, sir, you told me to leave your grandfather, great-grandfather, alone. I wish I could, because I understand family members, but he did commit a very terrible thing in his life. And the American government was always compassionate to him. You don't see that today here with the people. What he did surpasses what Donald J. Trump did by miles. But look what they did for him. I mean, he got broken by the loyalists, not the British, but the loyalists from New Jersey. By the time the British let him go in 1777, after he had recanted his signing of the Declaration of Independence, they gave him a pardon from the Supreme law here, which wasn't General Howe, but Lord Cornwallis, okay? Signed by George III. And in the pardon he says, as long as you don't associate yourself with any American affairs and you stay out of the war, we will not harm you anymore. It was a full pardon because he had to reaffirm his oath to King George and the British system and recant his signing of the Declaration of Independence. Now, mind you, in that Declaration of Independence, like I told you before, there was a line that said that you have pledged your fortunes, your lives, and your honor to this endeavor. And there was people dying left and right that signed that Declaration of Independence and were treated badly by the British, not just him. There was a whole bunch of people out of the 56 signers. The American Congress, of course, found out that he was held by the British and their loyalists. But after he came home in 1777, and they realized how broken he was, and that he might not live long, and he didn't. He only lived 4 years. He died in 1781 at the age of 50. His house was ransacked, literally. Well, somewhere between the Revolutionary War and the Civil War, his house got redone to an extent that today his house serves as the mansion for the governor of New Jersey, for a guy that recanted the Declaration of Independence. And no matter how much compassion the people of the Revolutionary War had, per the American Heritage article that you can read there, anybody can read this article, there was never mention of him ever by George Washington or any other signee after 1777. They didn't say, oh, sorry, boy, or anything like that, but they just left him in history not to mention it to the people of the country that he actually resigned or recanted his allegiance on the Declaration of Independence. He's the only one of the 56 that did that. And you guys in New Jersey know that if you believe in stuff like karma or voodoo or curses, look at your governors. How many governors in the 20th and 21st centuries have been deposed for one reason or another, either put in jail, resign for hanky panky or other bad deeds that you have performed? If I would believe in curses, I would say, well, you live in the house of the guy that reneged an American, so therefore, you guys have a problem. But I don't. I just look at this as, well, c'est la vie. So to the great grandson of Mr. Stockton, I say, there's no reason why the Board of Regents would put his name to the University of Stockton University in 1969. Otherwise, I would not have made the article that I did when I found out that he was the only recanter of the Declaration of Independence. They don't teach you that in school either. Here in the United States, they don't. My brothers went to the high school here in Michigan, and I asked the teachers why, and they said, what do you mean? I said, why don't you talk about Richard Stockton? He's the recanter of the Declaration of Independence. I mean, you go high on Jefferson Davis, you go high on Richard Nixon, you go high on Hoover because you think that he caused the crash of 1929. Why not Richard Stockton? And why honor him with a university? Really? It's not that I feel terrible against Mr. Stockton. It's just that nobody knows what he was like. But he was a very much patriot. I mean, he didn't like the Stamp Act and everything. The article by American Heritage specifies that, and they make a point of putting it out there. He was a patriot, but he got broken, all the way broken, that he had to recant the Declaration of Independence. There was a lot of other Americans that died who signed the Declaration of Independence and died at the British hands and didn't do that. I'm not saying anything bad about him. I'm just saying he did it. It's like you guys going after Jefferson Davis, you guys going after Herbert Hoover, and the way you're going after Trump and the other presidents that did bad stuff that you don't go after, Clinton, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who stole an election, the Republicans and Democrats who stole the election of 1876. You don't go after them. See what I mean? But there shouldn't be anything, but you should tell your students that there was a person who signed the Declaration of Independence who recanted it. And look what happened to New Jersey. His house serves as the governor's mansion, and the University of Stockton was approved in his name back in 1969 by the Board of Regents. So that means that you should, and all because he went there, he got the pardon. You didn't hear anything from him because he was so sick and broken between 1777 and when he died in 1781. What you should have done is done the same thing to Donald Trump, saying, you go back to Mar-a-Lago and shut your mouth and don't do anything, and we won't do a thing against you. Heck, you did that to Richard Nixon when you gave him the pardon, didn't you? This is your favorite alien saying, This is why I had to do this, Americans, to let you know the truth. And if you don't believe me, check out the American Heritage article. It was well done and well researched. Good day.